Hello guys, I'm going to be casting another 1 versus 1 with DLAriot and DLAsteef. So if you remember, I've got another one of this match. And last time it was a great match between these two players. I'm going to be watching so we can see all the good stuff in real time. And let's hope this match is going to be at least as good as the R1 was. Because if you remember, and you can actually watch that video on my channel, hopefully it's not going to lag out. Doesn't look very good, come on. Hopefully this is not going to crash, and I'm going to be able to tell you that you can watch the first match between these two guys. It happened a few months ago, I believe. You can watch it on my channel. Actually, I think I'm going to link it in the description so you can see it, guys, because it was pretty great. Both are very good players, and yeah, it's pretty worth to watch. There are already some engagements here. My units are being retarded. I need to get rid of this. Need to move this shit somewhere so he's not going to attack them. Let's see. I'll tell them to ally yellow, just in case they didn't notice. So I'm not going to scout anymore, hopefully, because, you know, I could just interfere with their scouting, and that's not going to be good. So Steve allied me. Hopefully Riot will do the same very soon so you can see both of them. I don't know exactly where he... Oh, there he is. Okay, good. Right, so waiting for Riot to ally me as well now, and after this we're going to have a pretty nice match here, hopefully. Riot's having some connection problems lately, but it's not really something very huge from what it seems. At least 3-player matches seem to work. Okay, good. So got both of them being allies to me, and this small blockade here made by Riot, it's going pretty good. He forced what's his name, Steve, to fall back into his spice field and scout a bit more here. And their spots are actually they're gonna fight on the bottom part of the map, which is, in my opinion, I hate this part of the map, like having to fight here. There are some dunes right over here and some annoying cliffs here. It's pretty bad, at least in my opinion. I hate when I have to fight on this region. But yeah, it's a free player, so 3-player match, so spots are not really top versus bottom. So Steve doing more scouting to Riot's base. Riot not very active when it comes to scouting, or at least we didn't see very much of what Riot did in the very early game, because he allied with us later. But now this siege tank has just got owned by a few troopers and 2 riflemen, or light infantry. And right now, these 2 players are gonna meet here with their starting units, but obviously they're not attacking each other. And Steve is obviously falling back because he doesn't have enough shit to manage that. In case Riot was paying attention, he could just wiped out his entire scouting force, which would have been very helpful for him. And we kind of see half of the map where the R1 is totally black, which is pretty interesting. Now Steve is going to help us. He's going to enlighten us a bit. Indeed, just a bit, because he stopped right here. He's going for more. So let's see the build orders a bit. There are 4 refineries, just 1 factory. Here goes the 2nd factory for Riot. And yep, the third heavy factory for Steve. The build orders are different and are not classic 8-minute no rush build order that we use here, which is pretty nice to see players using something different. I myself use the classic one just because, I don't know, I guess our build orders do work fine. But he had only 3 refineries, and this will make him feel some problems later on, especially when he gets the starport, because if you want to maintain steady starport production, you gotta expand and at least have 4 refineries in your main base. Alright, that's not going to work without. And usually 3 harvesters per refinery, so that would be like 12 harvesters for if you got 4 refineries in your main base. We're not counting the expansion refineries, which don't really have a count. You can put as many as you want depending on the situation and how much money you need. So here Riot moving out with a small force, not really moving out, just doing some steps here outside of his base. And actually this is gonna be an Atreides versus Harkonnen match. I didn't really notice this so far. I thought they are both Atreides. That's good. So right now we can't see anything of this part of the map. I'm assuming they scouted it, and Riot pretty much just sitting duck with his starting units. Let's see. Steve is definitely more active when it comes to scouting, but I don't know again if maybe Riot scouted this part of the map or somewhere in the beginning. There are 3 minutes left until they can technically rush. Not real-time minutes, because as you can see, they drain a lot faster than a normal minute. So Riot moving out to the bottom of the map, bottom middle, I would say. It's already middle. This would be, and you can see what I'm talking about. These dunes here are pretty bullshit. When you gotta, you know, attack the enemy. Let's say the enemy has some sonic tanks right here behind these rocks. Sonic tanks, troopers, and all this sort of bullshit. And you have, and oh yeah, troopers. And you gotta, you know, smash that with your devastators or whatever the hell you got. But you gotta pass these dunes first, which are slowing you down very badly. And you're gonna take tons of damage from missile tanks, troopers, sonic tanks, and our random shit. And you're not going to be fine. That's why usually it's important to move your unit. If you are a bottom left, it's important to move your units right here as soon as possible, not be trapped in this sand fest. In this dune fest, sorry. And yeah, some lag, but that's fine, as long as not crashing. It's pretty playable actually. Just a few freezes from time to time. So that's definitely doable. And tons of troopers here, and Steve has no siege tanks. He's forced to run over the troopers with heavy tanks, which is very, very bad, because he takes tons of casualties from it. At this point, let me see, Riot is doing pretty fine. Or not Riot, oh yeah, Riot, sorry. Confusing their names. Steve doing pretty well here with trooper artillery, I guess. He gets Sardu cars already. Guess there's a high-tech factory somewhere around here in the Shroud. Oh snap, I wasn't paying attention, but 3 heavy tanks are going to be owning Riot's refineries, and he's for some reason shooting the light infantry coming out from the destroyed refinery instead of taking out this second one, because that would have been very easy to do. And yet another sneak attack here with his starring units. Riot is sneak attacking with his starring units. He managed to sneak up 1 medium tank. And I'm a bit rusty, so sorry guys if I'm not really spotting every single action on the map. I haven't casted in a while, as you probably have seen. This siege tank is definitely gonna save his ass from these troopers, unless his own troopers are going to do it. But Riot getting more tanks, more medium tanks here to blow up some stuff. It appears that Riot is having pretty impressive army at this point. And I'm afraid that Steve is not going very well. He's gonna lose this heavy factory as well right now. And Riot having tons of crap moving out, and also an expansion MCV. And 3 medium tanks owning the shit out of Steve at this moment. For some reason he's keeping these units right here when he should have moved them down fast. If Riot would attack now, this would be pretty terrible for Steve. Steve is pretty dead, technically. Well, let's see. Another sneak attack here by Steve. So both players are really sneaky. The only problem for Steve is that Riot has a very impressive army here. He got 3 harvesters, either by mistake or intentionally, using them as meat shield. Run over troopers and all sort of bullshit like this. So, yeah, he appears to be moving down indeed. He needs some sort of very fast solution to this, but I can't honestly see any solution to it, actually. Riot also got his construction yard as in first expansion right here. And again, I don't see any way of getting out for Steve. I think these Sardukars would be the only option. Riot has only 1 siege tank, so if he can manage to use those Sardukars properly, and this starport drop will also help him to survive, but still Riot has a very big advantage in the game when it comes to the army size. This missile tank is gonna try to harass some units, but obviously wouldn't do very much. And that siege tank is pretty far, so he can use the Sardukars very nicely. And also get these 2 missile tanks, put them somewhere around here and try. But here comes a sneak attack, which is going to do very much damage to Steve. He did notice it, but I'm afraid he's not going to do very much with this. Anyway, he lost only 1 refinery. That's fine. I don't think economy is the biggest problem of Steve at this moment. Looks to me like the unit count is the problem, but these Sardukars are going to be very useful. He made a very good decision getting Sardukars. They are kicking ass both of troopers and vehicles, but now Riot has tons of our units in his base, and also he got 2 expansions actually. He sold 1 construction yard here in the top right. I don't know why. Indeed, Sardukar saving the day, and obviously our heavy tanks and random shit that he had, but still, Sardukars are indeed the main reason he's still alive, in my opinion. And also, this siege tank was pretty idle here. He could have saved the attack on Riot's side and eventually end this game. It still has these units here, 4 medium tanks, 1 quad. He might actually attempt to attack Riot again. He's not doing harvester hunting because I know that Riot is he hates harvester hunting. And now Steve is moving out with every single unit that he had right here. He has some units in the base, but compared to Riot's army, it's pretty devastating. And now he's gonna attempt to take out the construction yard on the bottom expansion. It's not going to work very fine because Riot is definitely going to engage this in a second and just wipe him out. And let's see, Steve is doing a very good job here defending. He got an X research center, which means that he's going to, I don't know, go for devastators. That would be a good idea, I think. Not really sure. Well, let me think for a second. He definitely needs some siege tanks to handle troopers, and if that's done, then devastators are the way to go. Because medium tanks are pretty shit against devastators, and the only problem a devastator will always meet against an Atreides player are quads and troopers. Not even sonic tanks, because sonic tanks aren't that great alone. Yep, devastators moving out from the heavy factory. And I don't know, maybe Steve is going to attempt a comeback. He certainly was, and he still is in trouble here, but He's trying a comeback. Riot moving, I mean camping with his units right here, but he took the strategical point that I was talking about in the beginning of the match. Also has these units here prepared for a sneak attack at any time. Let's see, there's going to be an engagement. He has Steve has his army pretty split up, which is not very good. The siege tank, he needs to pay attention. He's gonna own his Sardu cars. Still pretty decent job there. Sardu cars have a lot more HP than troopers from what it seems, but as you see, oh shit, he's gonna get this siege tank way too far. At this point, oh, this is gonna be a very devastating attack. He needs to move his Sardu cars and block the entrance ASAP. He's doing it, but I don't know, he will, no, he falls back. He keeps harassing, but he's gonna engage this army here. It's obviously not good. A starport drop here. Missile tanks are always good, but there's too much random crap here for Riot. Steve is attempting a comeback, but it's not really working out because he's being overwhelmed by tons of units. He needs to get rid of the troopers somehow if he wants to pull this off. Let's see. He has pretty decent map control. I mean, pretty decent. He has total map control at the moment. I mean, Riot. And auto destruction of Devastators, you rarely see that, but it's pretty interesting. Although he didn't do the damage he wished, I'm pretty sure he wanted to kill the troopers with that. Pretty much. And this looks like GG. He needs to take out all the units he has on this part if he really wants to succeed in this. Unless Riot is gonna wait more time for Steve to get units. He needs to kill the troopers somehow and take these units, even risking a sneak attack, but it's a lot more important if he wants to survive. But the game is pretty over in my opinion. He needs to use this siege tank. I don't know what's he doing now. He appears to be moving out. Trying to, I don't know, maybe some sort of last attack Sparta mode. You know, that is Sparta. At this point, this heavy tank is having fun with two guys here sleeping on the battlefield, having no idea that some random retard is shooting them. This tank is very happy at this point. He's gonna get the second kill, and that's all because, you know, that's already too much. He's gonna go to hell for those kills. And at this point, Steve attempting some sort of trolling harassment here. He almost got this light factory though, so let's give him credit. And I don't know, I really don't know why Riot is going. He switched to sonic tanks for some reason. I totally do not understand why he did that, because at this point he definitely doesn't need high-tech units. And right now, that sneak attack that I was talking about did happen. So those units were a constant threat to the north part of the base, and right now he's showing up. That this threat was indeed a problem. And oh my god, an engineer, this wasn't very good. But we're playing 8-minute, which means that you cannot start building concrete in the enemy base. Technically, he doesn't care about that rule. Yeah, he said he's sorry. Obviously, he did it by mistake. There was an engineer in the group. When I saw he's building a Devastator, I was like, okay, maybe this was on purpose. And now, he's gonna just shoot the hell out of Steve with those sonic tanks. This is obviously GG. He could just take this group of units, come to the north, and just wipe out everything. Economically talking about, he's pretty dead. And I don't know, this siege tank just messed around with in a very bad position. He needs to come here and kill the troopers, which he did, and now the Devastators can come in and finish off the rest of his army. But he still, Riot still has tons of our units outside the base. So, DLAsteef is still in a very bad position. There are 4 engineers right here sitting duck. Riot misclicking a lot. So let's see what's he doing here. Attempting a sneak attack, or I don't know, he lost a bunch of quads there that he shouldn't have lost. And here comes another group of units. I don't see the point of using these quads in this choke point when you could just take them over from the top and just kill off the entire base. Pretty much, or even take out these Devastator, which is pretty useless against so many quads. Yeah, switching back to combat tanks, which means that he's doing very bad when it comes to economy, and technically I see only 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Well, he definitely doesn't have enough heart, or maybe he has, I don't know. But he's switching back to heavy tanks for some reason. And why would you be enforcing this north part at this point? Because he's not even attempting to attack you from the north at this moment. When you see he's moving, his units moving up, you can easily just move some units here to defend. There's no point in doing it right now. You see he's having few units, very useful units here, even a siege tank that can kill off troopers. I keep talking about the siege tanks and their importance, but they are very, very important, because when you're a Harkonnen player, your biggest enemy is a trooper against an Atreides. You just saw there, without troopers, the Devastators are taking out Sonic tanks easy. Very big problems here for Steef. This seems to be GG. I keep saying this for a while, but this one really looks like it. And yes, Steef is GGing, you know, tons of units coming from the north, and that is going to be about it. GG, guys. He's gonna get clusterfucked here by a north group of units and a eastern, or southeast, whatever. Well, he did a good job defending. Had a few problems there at the beginning, but it happens to lose the first attack. It wasn't a bad game, you gotta say it. Yeah, so as I said, I'm going to be posting the first video that these guys played, and I have recorded it. And you can see it was another high quality match. This one wasn't so long, I think, and wasn't so full of action or comebacks. That one was full of comebacks. You never knew who's gonna win. This one was pretty one-sided, but Steef did a pretty good job defending. He's quite rusty, had to play for a while, same me and Riot, so technically we are all three very rusty. And this is gonna be a dramatic ending here. This MCV just deployed itself in an attempt to destroy the Duke and all his followers. The harvesters are going to be trolling masses of troopers and random units. Right. So Riot taking friendly fire here. Masses of friendly fire. With a lot of troll aircraft flying around. Seriously, whenever you see this, it's like a big troll. All these carriels. Alright guys, so thank you for watching, and see ya. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video, and let's hope we're gonna get more of these. So yeah, goodbye. Let's wait for the score screen so you can see what has went on. If it's going to ever show up. Okay. So I got 0, 0, 0, 0, and 0. Obviously I was the best player in this game, because I've got no kills and no units killed, so I'm pretty good. So thank you guys for watching, and see ya later with more videos.